Hi there, I'm Nu-Trix, and today we're talking about recording with the best possible quality. There's an expression that says sh in, sh out, you know?
When I started doing the edits for that video, I found that it came to me that I have also to talk about not just mechanical recording, but how I treat the signal after, because it is really important how I treat it. And this is where you're going to hear more of the noises. Just so you understand, when the recording is done, I try to isolate as much as my voice as possible. But then I have to treat it. I have to normalize, change the volume, up, compress the signal. So you really have a stable volume of voice when you listen to many different speakers. I don't know if you listen on headphones or just a speaker on your little portable cell phone or your iPad or whatever it is. So I have to have a constant voice volume as much as possible, still feeling natural that it changes. But then when I do that, I bring up all the background noises, all the floor noises. So as the background noises are louder at the start, they become really louder when I finish or when I edit. And that's a big problem. And I think everybody has that problem. So the goal here is to have as less as possible other noises and just keep your signal, in my case, my voice, clean. And that starts with having less other noises in the room, having a less sensitive microphone. Like this one really picks my voice here, but does not pick the rest of the room or the other rooms around me. And that's also a reason why I picked this one instead of other microphones. But then everything else being captured by the microphone, and sometimes we forget about the fact that the microphone is attached to something, and that something, the stand, the boom, the arm, your hand, all of this brings vibration to the microphone, and you will record it, and then it's going to be difficult to get rid of it. I'll let myself talk, and I'll come back later.
If you don't record something the right way, it's going to be a problem when you want to finish the mix. Anything recorded, a voice, an instrument, if you record it with problems, so a bad recording is going to be hard to mix, hard to fix, and all that stuff. And there's plenty of plugins to get rid of the noise and all that stuff. But if you get the right thing first, you're better off for the rest of your work. So planning and tools will help you. Now,
so the part we just heard was basically clean without any edit. If I bring this normally, when I import it into my software called Studio One, I can, first of all, I should normalize the track. Normalizing, just so that everybody understands what it is, you ask the software to look at your WAV file and pick the loudest peak of volume and say, now this should be at the maximum. Maybe there's 10 dBs of difference, 20 dBs of difference, 5 dBs of difference, and it will take all the track and say everybody is 10 dB louder. So it means that also your background noises will come up 10 dBs, and that's huge.
Now, in my case, I've got this microphone, and it's on a boom that is flexible, but, as I move it, you might hear some noise, but it's not so bad. But still, the feet of it is attached to the table here that I use to put my keyboard on. So even if I just take my glass of water, put it here, you hear many things at the same time here. You hear, of course, my voice ringing through it. When I hit it, the whole thing vibrates in the boom itself because the feet of it is stuck to the same table. If I even see on the microphone there, I've got a little light on it. So I see how much volume comes in here, okay? If I just tap on the table, and if I turn on my computer, oh, that's even better. Look at this. I'm going to turn on my computer. I'm going to activate my hard drives. Just listen to the background noise. If I turn on the hard drives, that's going to be nice. In the room right now, I hear it very low in volume. There is a transmission of a physical vibration between my multiple hard drives that I have there vibrating, bringing the vibration to the table, and it goes into the microphone and it captures it. And then now it's always a background noise. So I'm not actually going to put any noise reduction on this video, so you hear what I usually get if I don't turn off stuff. To get rid of it, one way would be to physically find a different place to attach this. So I would need to either I fix something else and then attach my microphone boom to another part. So I used to have it, my older boom was attached on the top here. I've got a shelf, but still it's kind of hard for the boom to be bent under the feet of it, you know, the bottom. So it's made to be on a table. So it didn't work really well. But what I bought this week is a shock mount. A shock mount is really made for this. It's a shock mount for this model. Shock mount could be different ways, different shape. There's different options, but the goal of it is to have your microphone on a suspension so that the vibration that is in the arm itself, the support that you have, does not translate to the microphone. So I'm gonna see if this fixes anything at all. So this thing is all metal, except it's actually, you've got two rings, and this part here is going to attach to this here. So this is going to be in between this and this. So, and if you look carefully to that, this is with elastics all around it. And these elastics all around makes that this centerpiece, the center circle, is on the suspension, and we'll see how much vibration goes through it. I'm attaching this and we'll come back. So now, actually this sounds a lot better. If I tap on the table now, how much different is it? I'm gonna have to put it in my computer and see the difference.
I'm going to show you the suite of effects I put on one single track just for my voice. I've got a declicker. This is usually to get rid of the little clicking sound or clipping sound that comes with static that I might be, you know, touching around me, and then the microphone will click, click, will pick that up. So I can turn that on and off if I need to. I have a de-reverb. Now, if my microphone was badly placed, or if this one stopped recording and I'm using the microphone of the iPad, for example, I'm going to use a de-reverb because the microphone is so far away that it captures the room before my voice. And the de-reverb is a good tool to get, you know, clean that up. But still, it's not perfect. You hear the process. You hear the artifacts in the voice. As the more you use it, the more it shows that you used it. And I have the version 7. I think they're at number 9 now. It should be better, but still, if you can get a better recording, start with that. Then you have a de-esser. I don't really need it. I think I never use it. De-esser is for the sibilants. Every time people talk, all these sound, they can ring out really louder. It's a mix of how the person pronounces and how the microphone picks up these frequencies. So the way I pronounce and the way that microphone is sensitive to the way I pronounce makes it so I don't use it, but it's there just in case I would need to do it. I have a denoiser, a voice denoiser, so it's specifically aimed at cleaning up the voice and denoising the rest of it. So this one I put it in dialogue because I want to have just the voice and there's no music in the background. And I have adaptive mode. So in real time, it will adapt to the changing of the noise depending on what it is. So it could come from background noises of the computer, hardware, me tapping. Then it could be music, could be here and seen as background noise because it's not the voice. So then this, I will actually turn it off right now because I'll show you that for now, I just want to hear the sound louder. So you hear the sound louder. You hear the errors or the noises. I've got the expander. If I need the expander, what I'll do is I usually use this when I have music playing in the back. And when I don't talk and we listen to the sounds of the synthesizer, I don't want to have a fighting of the frequencies between what's coming out of my speakers and being picked by my microphone plus the direct sound that I want you to hear. So the gate, the expander is basically a gate that you control, and I would actually position the threshold under the volume of my voice, but over the volume of my speakers. So if I'm able to put it in between, every time I stop talking, it would actually bring the volume down for the music playing, so the background noises. So you only hear the other track, which is the direct sound of the synthesizer. So that would be that. In this case, I don't need it because I just have my voice. Next one is a multiband dynamic compressor. So this also is to kind of optimize, I look at it as being an EQ with dynamics. And I turn it on and I just play with it. What I do is I tweak it because it's for my voice, and I always use the same microphone and same voice and same setting. So it's kind of easy to tweak every week a little bit out of it. And at one point I just don't touch it, and I take the same preset week after week because it's easier to just, I'm always using the same microphone and same source, which is me. And the final one, I go to the RX mix, the final mix. And then you have two windows in this one. You have the limiter, which is really clean and transparent. And you have an equalizer. You see all of this happening here. I'm going to bring that up. All of this section here is really to get rid of the rumble, get rid of the noise coming from the microphone, the boom stand. And that's where I said, okay, I'm editing too much. I'm having to clean too much of the background noises, which is kind of a problem. And it also changes my voice. So now I turned it off. This is on, this is off. So right now this is off, but it shows you how badly I had to EQ to get rid of stuff. In the best case scenario, what I pick for the microphone is good, and I do a little bit of editing just to boost the frequency so it's cleaner. So right now I'm going to turn it off and go back to listen to the tracks. So you hear the sound with only basically the limiter doing the boost of the volume and the fact that that track has been normalized. Let's go back.
I'm just playing on the keys. See how much it's going to take. Some of it is being taken from here, another is actually vibration. If I turn off the computers, the hard drive I turned off. So it's actually better if I press. But it's not perfect. Computer is off, another noise that is gone. There's a rumble at the bottom that just has disappeared now. If I connect it back, there's still a so this is a step better, but I'm gonna still have to tweak it.
Now let's go back and listen to the same tracks and adding the effects. Of course, if I'm here at that section where I did put the Shockmount and I'm listening to my track and I add a denoiser to that. Let's go back to the denoiser. Whoops, denoiser. If I turn that on, right away, it's a lot cleaner. When I talk,
Come on, if I turn this off, I still hear a lot of noises at the back.
so it's a lot better. It's not perfect.
Computer is off, another noise that is gone.
Except if I go back to the first part. First part, here you go.
Hi there, I'm Nu-Trix, and today we're talking about recording with the best possible quality. There's an expression that says sh in, sh out, you know? If you don't record something the right way, it's going to be a problem when you want to finish the mix. Anything recorded, a voice, an instrument, if you record it with problems, so a bad recording is going to be hard to mix, hard to fix, and all that stuff. And there's plenty of plugins to get rid of the noise and all that stuff, but if you get the right thing first, you're better off for the rest of your work. So planning and tools will help you. Now, in my case, I've got this microphone, which I really like the sound. You know, it's a cool sounding microphone, and it's on a boom that is flexible, but you know, as I move it, you might hear some noise, but it's not so bad. But still, the feet of it is attached to the table here that I use to put my keyboard on.
Now, if I go to the last section here,
these things off now.
I might not even need this one anymore. Turn these off just to see how it sounds now.
So to get rid of it, I'm gonna have to put that little feet on a separate holding system, either attached to the wall that is not getting the vibration of the rest, to really get that cleaned up. If not, when I boost the volume of my voice, I get that at the back, or these noises at the back that are artifacts that, again, if I clean them up with the plugin, and I can show you if you want to, the plugin I'm using, but it's still going to affect the clarity of the voice. So if I can get a better recording, I will. So this is a step better, but I'm going to still have to tweak it. That's it.
So that's how you make it better. So you're better off recording with a good microphone, or a good microphone basically means the one adapted to what you're doing. It doesn't mean it has to be $1,000. It's really having the right microphone for the right recording. That's the one thing. Position it right. That's the second thing. Having some type of control over it, like a Shockmount or anything like that, so you get rid less of artifacts in it. Another good thing. Then cleaning up, normalize first, and then EQ, denoise, compress. You compress after that if possible, and limiter. Then it's a question of how you want to do it, but that's kind of how you approach it. So if you're having all these noises problem and you try to fix it out with the, with processing, try to fix it at the source first. It's always an easier way to manage after. That's it for today. I hope this is actually useful. Any question, put them below. See you soon. Make more music. Cheers.